Hello Nitro fans! Racing! Sort the screen out. 393. So this is part 2 of the Schumacher XTR3e rebuild of the vintage Nitro from about 2002. So I've tried not to spend a load of money on this one, unlike the single speed which I got powder coated, and I think what did I do then? There's electrics in it. Is there? Yes, there is. There's electrics in it, different tyres, dyeing the wheels, because I could do on that one. So I spent a bit of dough on that one, a little bit of dollar. But on this one, the only money that I've spent on it is some paint, which would be lacquer and the orange, which looks yellow, but it is orange. A lot of hard graft to get this where I wanted it. And then it's like anything. You do all the work, all the prep, and you don't even know if it works. So in this video, what we're going to do is we'll put it all together, and we'll go through the sequence of, because we've got a body shell as well, so that will get fitted at some point during the video, and the engine is going to be started. This model, like I've said before, when we say that it's very proprietary, it's what it means is one or two things. There's certain and specific things that go onto this truck that don't get used anywhere else. Even other Schumacher vintage nitros of similar era. So it can be quite fiddly when you're messing around with these, and although they're very simple, making sure you have everything, because if you haven't got certain things, you can't buy them or nick them off other cars. You know, it just won't work. So these trucks were renowned for their speed, which is why I've gone down the 3-speed route. Now, talking of 3-speed, a spoiler alert. I hope I haven't knackered the 3-speed transmission, because another spoiler alert, it wasn't quite meshed. Damn it. But you'll see that on the video. So this is part 2. Sit back and enjoy. Part 2 of the Schumacher rebuild, XTR3e. So what I have done, I've got some camber links on here now. They go on, and you can see that the rear wheels are kind of, at least now, pointing in the right direction, which is good. It all works. I think the rear shocks are doing a bit harder, so I might have to preload them a little bit more, but hey. This is the next thing I'll do. So this is FRP or whatever, plastic. Now, I think the front shock tower is actually carbon fibre. I've got another carbon fibre one there, but I think this one will do. It feels tough. So it's just a case of putting this on. It does go on fairly easy. So that's what I'm going to do now. And then I've got a body shell, but it's not for this. I can't remember what this is for now. It is a vintage truck. It will go on. It's going to take a little bit of jiggery pokery, but that'll be the next part to get fitted on. And then also in this video we're going to start this up, so we'll see if it actually works. So I've got everything on charge. I'm just going to change all this over, and I'll be back once I've got it back on, back on this. Yeah, but these are the turnbuckles I was using. So they're just a bit too long, really. But hey ho, they'll do for something else, no doubt. Right,
shouldn't take too long for me, but for you it'll be in a minute. Let's change that over. So that's on. Didn't take too long. Ironically though, I think, I don't know, that's what came off. That looks like carbon fibre, but it does flex a bit. That doesn't. So I'm assuming that might be just a carbon fibre, I don't know, Chinese carbon fibre. So it is on there. It's all back together now. Front's a bit springy, but we expect that. The back is fine. Works really well. It's a bit, could do perhaps slightly soft, stiffer springs, or yeah, I've lowered these platforms a bit. But yeah, I think the next stage is to get the rotor start and see if it will fire up, I suppose. Then, well, I suppose I could trim the body shell and just see if it fits. It needs to be loads cut out on it actually, so it won't just fit. What's the time? Right, so I think I might do the body shell. Let's get that kind of, it's somehow so it's on there, but it needs quite a lot of trimming. It's not for this. This exhaust header sticks out, so the body shell's in the way there. Oh, I've got to put the exhaust clamp on and move the carb. Right, let's do those sort of finicky bits first.
So here is a bit of a startup sequence. Well, it was a real trouble trying to get this running, and what I hadn't noticed was I hadn't done the mesh properly on the gears. I thought it was pretty fixed, if I'm honest, but I did notice after I'd done this messing about that there was some residue on the chassis, because the wheels are moving there in certain situations. You can see they're moving, but they're not meshing properly. I never noticed it whilst I was, it's running there, you see, but the wheels are not moving. I'm revving it. It's just completely destroying those gears. The gears are slightly moving, but I had so much of my attention onto why the engine was over revving. I do find these type of engines, they're quite tricky. I mean, again, I don't know the history of it, but I might have to. The teeth aren't completely knackered, but yeah, we'll come back to that. So there's the first part of the video. I haven't finished it yet, just so you know. So that was a little montage of me trying to start it. With these engines, they're so they're not all like it, but I find that these ones, my other Schumacher, the single speed, I think that was also a 21, was it? It's up there. That was also a bit up and down and really temperamental with the carburetor settings. I've got to run that one, but this one was doing the same thing. I just think it might be just a trait of that sort of setup. Usually, if you start a nitro engine and it sits there and runs and then starts to die off, it could be a million different things. Running weak, drawing air, both of them, low end needle, that can cause that. It sort of, but then when I was pinching the exhaust, it kept running, so that means it's got a lot of fuel. And maybe if it's weak, it will tend to sort of die off, won't it? But it will sort of pick up, the idle will pick up when it's weak. So I don't know, it's a bit confusing. Yeah, I've got to mesh that gear a little bit better. I didn't check that. God, how stupid of me. The actual plate that goes onto the chassis, I didn't think actually moved, or it does move a little bit. I will have to look into that. Whether maybe if you undo it and you can sort of push it up a little bit more, maybe there's some little slots on the engine mount which I hadn't noticed on where it sort of bolts into the chassis. I'll have to check That one, actually. I keep looking at that one. I'll have to show you that one again, but you've seen it before. So the mesh wasn't meshing. I just didn't even see it when I was trying to start it. So maybe I'll have to buy another 3-speed. I think you can still get them. So it's a bit annoying. But yeah, so it's still a long way off from running. I think what we'll do now is maybe we'll trim the body shell, do the mesh, get the body shell kind of on there, so it can see what it will look like, and then we'll go back to tuning the engine. What I'll do is I'll probably have a go at that without filming until I've got it set where I need to set it. There's no electrics in here, remember, so I can't control the throttle in any sort of way. That can be a little bit tricky. But the next bit you'll see me, you'll go, the body shell will be fitted, and then we'll go from there really, see if we can get it sort of a little bit sweeter, and see if I can sort that gear mesh out. Hopefully I haven't done too much damage there. So onwards, and hopefully upwards.
Been a bit of a journey. Still not started it. I think I might have actually knackered that, which is the roto start bolt, but I've ordered another one with a roto start. Look like a hex. I'm going to strip the carb because I don't know. I'm not sure if I think's all correct. Don't know. The gear mesh is fine. I thought I'd damaged that, but it just was the engine mount not quite in the right place. Universal joint flew apart, so I've put a small circlip on there which is too big, but I've bent the circlip so it's tight. I'm hoping that stays on there. I'm not too sure, because it flicks out and then the pin comes out, and then if that gets lost, I don't know. Don't know what to do then. So yeah, I'm gonna have to keep an eye on that. You can't see it there, but it's, yeah, I don't know. It feels like I could almost take it off. I'm gonna have to do something with that. The other side, the pin was tight, so it's not so bad. But I'll put a circlip on there anyway. Body shell on. It's a little bit like an RC10 GT, isn't it? That was my thinking, without using the RC10 GT body. I think this came from Penguin Bodies. I think it was a Lossy, Team Lossy or something, like a copy. But it looks alright. I mean, it's not supposed to be perfectly fitting. The wheel arches are in the right place, same as the GT RC10 GT. The fronts are out, but the back is slightly out on this one. Yeah, I mean, it's a bit more trimming to do, like some of these corners, but it's all on where it should go. But I think the next thing, I'm sort of running before I walk, if I'm honest. Get this engine so it starts. I've always had problems with these. I don't know quite why. I think it's the carb. That is only 16% nitro. I'm wondering whether it would be better with 25%. But yeah, so the carb, I'm going to have to clean that down. Put the new roto start on. I've got a new bearing as well. And it's easy to get to here because it's rounded off there a little bit, so I'm disappointed with that. Yeah, I mean, it's, like I said, it's a bit too high at the front, but it all works. And the shell is on nice. Not bad for a 2002 Nitro. Put like a makeshift wing on the back. Which, can you see that? I can't really see it, can you? Hang on. About there. So a bit of trimming up to do, but it is bolted on. It will do for now. It sort of extends the back because I think the shell's too short. Doesn't come back far enough. It's not meant for this chassis, is it? That's the main reason. But the exhaust and it all sort of goes on here. It sort of pokes out this side, and clearly the header comes out that side. So, but yes, the engine is fairly well cut out, as you can see there. It's got to be sanded down. It's not its final cut. This rear wing's only really just to give it the sort of the body shell slightly longer than what it is. But yeah, so I don't know whether in this part would have the car actually running, because it's been a bit of a mission. I've got quite a few other things I need to be getting on with, to be honest, and I don't want to spend too much time on this at the minute, so I still keep finding little things that I need to work on. But yeah, it's certainly better than when it started out. If this video is longer, then you'll know that I'm doing a running part as well. So, but if it goes straight into the end, you'll know that the running bit will definitely be in the third part. Because I'm unsure yet of how I'm going to go about this. I've sorted out the colour scheme that I'm going to do. So I'll keep that to myself until we get round to painting. So either way, bye for now, or I'll see you in a bit. Bit of masking. Homemade window masks, they'll do. Yeah. Let's get a bit of paint on it, I suppose. It's getting there. If you know, you know. Just got to do the front. I'm not quite sure what colour yet. But anyway, looking good. I'm not going to lie, it's taken a while, but I think I found out the reason why. First off, let me demonstrate. Right. There we go. So that is running. Turn the back down a little bit. So, good out. My God. My life. That is ridiculous. The problem. Ow! Fucking that's hot. Is a bit hot. I think the problem was. You're not going to believe it. It does change gear. It went through 3 gears changes because it over revved. The problem being the filter was the wrong way round. Can you believe it? No, I can't. But at least it's not a wasted journey, as it were. Problem is, problem doing it in here. It's so messy. Where is that gone? It's so messy. Because it runs rich and it spurts oil everywhere. It's in my mouth as well. But I'm pleased. It's taken me quite a while to get that. I actually did strip the carb down. I took everything apart, cleaned it all. And it seems to have all gone back together quite nice. You can see I've got to change this exhaust. It just chucks out its oil on the rear tyres, which isn't going to be good. I mean, it wants to be like that, but the body shell's got to go on. Yeah, that was a bit of a mission. That's probably taken me too long. God, that is hot. I know. Should I get my this is covered in oil as well. Everything's got oil on it. People hate this, don't they? The temperature gauge. But it's just, I know it's not necessarily, that's a good reading there. So 155 Fahrenheit. Exhaust header 93. That is hot there. 156. 137. Yeah, I thought that would have been hotter. 145. 156. That's obviously where the heat's getting out, isn't it? So they are good. They are worth having. Anyone that says it doesn't matter don't know what they're saying. You don't have to use it. It's not have to use it, but they are good. They're good to have. Right. Let's get on to the body shell finally. Well, as you've seen it already, but it is here. I've got to paint it. Yeah. Thank goodness for that. I don't know what to say. I don't know if you can see. Can you see that filter there? That silver thing. Can you see it? Can you see that? Well, the only reason I tried it is I took it off. I blew through it one way and the other, and one way was harder than the other for some reason. I don't know why. It's only got a mesh in it. I don't know why it's doing that. turned it over and it fired up. I stripped the carb down, everything like I said, got all the needle settings to basically what I would normally set them at, and it fired straight away. Anyway, that's enough of that. It stinks. It's on my lip. That's where my bottom lip going. Right, I'll carry on painting. What do you think? Done. Well, no electrics, not yet. But it's come out right. You'd never think it was one of those old Schumachers from 2002. Almost looks like an RC10 GT. That was my thinking. With sort of oval influence. It can't be helped. I'll show you a little bit of a close up. I mean, it has come out pretty good. Show the underside. The orange, not yellow. A pre-made, well, it's not a wing, but it will do. It's got the air filters on in there. It just about fits in there as well. Suspension's a bit dead at the back. It sort of sits down like that. See that even? So yeah, it needs that needs looking at, and it wants electrics. But I think it's come out really well. 3-speed. It's not meant. This shell's not meant for this chassis. Remember, so. But it starts, it runs. Electrics, which I will get, put them in, and it'll be all systems go. All systems not go. When will I take it out? But I can get to the starter as well here. Yeah. I'm pleased with that. It's just different, I think. That looks pretty good like that. That's the end of part 2. Part 3 will be the electrics going in and getting it properly set up with a transmitter, ready to take it for a run. We've got a lot of running to do. Loads. Hopefully get some of these cars out that I've been spending time building. And then the 3-speed does work because it was revving its nuts off and it went through the 3-speed. So I know it works. 2002. Bloody hell, 23 years old nearly. Not bad. Let me know what you think. I'm pleased anyway. And I'll catch up with you soon for part 3.